In my late teens, early 20s, I read about Karpal Singh with
Karpal and Karpal's, so the Karpal's family.
The late Karpal Singh was a very, very good lawyer. I think he has contributed tremendously, not only in his legal work, but as well as politics. He has defended many people, the voiceless, the defenseless, and he dared to speak up and protect the Constitution. And he was a very strong voice in the Parliament and a fearless member of Parliament who has always fought against injustices and who stood against even the mightiest and the then government, of course. And he has also contributed to make DAP as a strong party.
A lot of people look at Mr. Karpal as an opposition leader. To me, he was more than that. I knew him as a senior lawyer, and his willingness to share his knowledge. If you, as a junior lawyer, not just a junior, I was a very young lawyer, I would go and ask him, and he would point me in the right direction. So he wasn't just somebody who stood up for human rights, who stood up for freedoms. He wasn't somebody who just shook his finger at the establishment. He was somebody who was really concerned about the state of our country and ensured that the federal constitution was respected.
Yes, he's a man of principles, and I think a lot of students, children who grew up knowing him are going to follow his footsteps. I can see that in him. After 1 decade, I find them very excited, and they are there today, and they still look up to his principles.
Can you share some of the sweet memories you have with him?
I was just telling the people inside, from today's forum, I would like to let them know the softer part of Karpal. The sense of humor that he had, you will be surprised. And everybody who sits with him just wants him to sit with him so that they can listen to him. Because he's got such a good sense of humor. So very, very great in that way. Yeah.
Mr. Karpal was a very, very hardworking and dedicated lawyer. And he was also a very focused politician. I think ultimately he believed in certain principles, and he made sure that he stood by those principles despite the challenges that he faced. I think that's something that has inspired very many people, and that is something that we should all look at in shaping our journey moving ahead. So, yeah.
So, what can the new generation of leaders, lawyers, and activists can learn from the Tiger of Jelutong?
Well, I think it's persistence. He was a person who believed in certain things, and he stood by those beliefs, and he worked tirelessly to achieve whatever was needed to push ahead in those beliefs. So that's something that I think all of us will remember him for. And that is what makes, that is what marks Karpal Singh as an individual.
To the country, Karpal Singh was without a doubt the conscience of this country. Political conscience and even on the legal scale. He kept his own party in line at all times, and I think that is what we have missed in the last 10 years, a voice of conscience. I think he should be remembered for his courage to always speak for the voiceless, to speak the truth, to raise issues for the marginalized, for people who other people would not speak for. Karpal Singh was that voice. And I think that's how he should be remembered. His courage, his perseverance. He fought through so many battles. On a personal level, on a political level, he persevered and he pushed through. And that is what we as Malaysians should do. And I think he was colorblind. One thing about Karpal Singh is that he was colorblind. He was a colorblind politician, and I wish we could see more of that in Malaysia.